Well, here we are, another episode of the DYW Podcast in Miami. And we have had a wondrous journey here the last 4 months. We've finally gotten through the kid chatter. The teenagers have stopped telling us they're refusing to live here and moving back to California. So that's glorious. The children, the young ones, are loving the ocean. They actually swim in it. They were terrified of it in California. The waves were too big and the water was too cold. And there was also the terror of storms, which storms are the only thing that actually cause waves here in Miami. So I'm excited for hurricane season and for the things that are coming to be able to surf in South Florida, as right now the water is very flat. Now, the spirit of storm, here is the funnest play. Our guests today are incredible. And their power in who they are individually by themselves is incredible. And the power in who they are as a couple is incredible. And we've gotten to spend an incredible amount of time with that's a lot of Incredibles in less than 30 seconds. Our daughter spends time with this woman and couldn't say anything better. I swear it's almost anti already to her in that relationship. And the man that we have on the show today is an incredible human being who also has a story that could hold its own by itself. So Danielle and I are honored today to have OG Boobie Black and Stormy here on our show today on the DYW Podcast.
Yeah.
Guys, welcome to the show.
Hi, I'm excited.
Hi, we're honored to be here.
So we've had some fun experiences with you guys already.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were here at the house yesterday.
Yes.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
And
the most amazing thing it was about being at your house was you had a stage on top of a pool. And me and her sitting next to each other. And I'm like, man, that's crazy how they just took all the water out of the pool and made a stage. She said, no, baby, the water's still in there. I said, ain't no water in that pool. And she said, look. And so I looked down, I said, my God. So they did it through the water. Hey, that was amazing.
I was getting messages through the day from like friends in California. They're like, that looks so sick. It would be kind of funny if the floor broke and you guys all fell in the water.
That would be
I was
funny.
like, it would be funny, but they supported it big time.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
so we're going to get into it.
Okay, let's do it.
We're ready.
So we're going to back it up to the first time you two see or know of one another. Who saw who first? Who legitimately with eyeballs saw the other one first?
You want to let me say it? Or
You go
want to say
first.
it? Okay, well, I'm going to tell you straight out. We had a lot of do FaceTime, does that count? Or we're talking about physically?
Just the first time that you knew of Stormy. Yes.
First time.
That you saw her.
Stormy was, I looked on Instagram and they had this amazing woman just was talking some shit that just caught my ear. And I'm like, damn, for a female to say something like that? And I slid in her DM. I'm like, you a bad motherfucker, whatever it was I said. But when I did that, I didn't get a response. So, when you don't have a response, you know how us as men, we just want to, okay, I'm going to show you. So I went back.
You DM'd her again?
Yeah, definitely DM'd her again.
How many DMs until?
I don't know. I don't want to embarrass myself on y'all podcast, but it was a lot of DMs. but the thing about it is this: curiosity kills the cat. Satisfaction brings the cat back. We know that, right?
Yeah.
So she got curious about me, and she asked a few people about. Shout out to Wallow. Shout out Wallow, $1 million worth of game. Thank you for not hating, dog. You know what I'm saying? Always. She shout out. She reached out to a few people about me and like, who is this damn guy?
Okay, hold on. So had you responded to a DM before you reached out about him?
No, he asked me for my phone number.
Yeah.
But had you responded to a DM yet?
Yes, he asked me for my phone number, and I said, why should I give you my phone number?
Okay, so that was the first response.
I asked him, why should I give him my phone number?
Did you see the first DM come in?
I did.
Unread? Just left it?
I didn't read it. I mean, I've read it, but I didn't respond.
Yeah. And then how many times do you remember he DM'd before you responded?
It wasn't that many times. It was probably like 5 or 6 times.
That's too many.
Okay.
That's too many. But listen, hey, they said if it weren't for the prey, it wouldn't be a chase.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Okay, so he asked for the number, and then you said what?
I was like, why should I give you my number? And I don't think he responded back. But it was his persistency and his consistency that was impressive to me. I was really impressed with how he didn't let pride and his ego get in the way. I liked how he didn't mind consistently DMing me.
So then you reached out to get some data.
So I used to think that he was carrying a gun under his arm. I'm like, what type of killer is he?
Yeah.
What does he want from me? I didn't know he had one arm. I thought he just always had a long gun, an AK or something in his shirt.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, he kind of cute. He looked, I like the rough look. I like that, you know. And so I reached out to Wallow. I said, Wallow, I noticed that you know this guy. He's with Kevin Gates all the time. He's in the music industry. His name OG Boobie Black. You know him? And he was like, what you mean he reaching out to you? I said, he keep reaching out to me. And he said, let me tell you about him. He's not trying to sell your tea. He said, if you're trying to sign him up in your business, don't talk to him for that. I know how you are, Stormy. You always trying to sign somebody up. He said he's not going to sign up. He's not going to sell your tea. He's not going to join your community. Other than that, he's a really great guy, and that's not a gun. He has one arm. I didn't know.
Yeah.
And so when I spoke to Wallow and he gave me that cosign, I was like, okay. And then I showed my daughter. So my daughter's 25 years old. We're like, sisters. I said, this guy keep reaching out to me. He kind of cute, but he look crazy. And she said, why don't you give him a chance? It won't hurt to talk to him. So I just randomly one day just DM'd him my number and said, call me.
Did you get that DM right away?
That was the best thing that ever happened to me. hey, them numbers were like winning the lottery numbers. You get Stormy numbers? So yeah, we did a lot of chatting. We talked a lot. We did a lot of FaceTime, and basically, she was intrigued with my conversation, not only because I wasn't talking about nothing. I was basically stimulating her mind, you know what I'm saying, showing her that every guy in the street ain't like the guys that they say in the street. You know what I'm saying? Because like I told you, when we had our personal talk, before I met Stormy, I was in a real dark place. In the dark place I was in, it was to where I was this big man that had this, I had my money, I got my house, a car, I could have any girl I want. But at night when I go home, I'm lonely, and I don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
So
how long have you been feeling like that?
I've been feeling like that for a lot of years, for some years, yeah. You ever been with somebody and you just with that person, and even though you with that person, you just know, like, I know I'm not going to be here. Yeah. I know I'm not. And that happened to me before in a past relationship that I was in. And I just woke up one morning and just said, I know this ain't what I deserve. Yeah. And I drove from Florida all the way to Houston, Texas with a BMW attached to the back of a U-Haul.
Wow.
So this place has a lot of stories, particularly for couples that have been together for a long time. They get into this idea, particularly guys. Well, if I had this other girl and we could bang, or we had this other girl and we could, they get into the sex story, or if I had somebody different, and they haven't gone down that path. And then we got guys in couples where people have had relationships before, and then they come together and they've kind of exhausted this story. So what I'm hearing you say is that there was something you were looking for beyond sex, beyond just having a body around.
Yeah, I was looking for that completion in my life, because even though I had the things that I wanted, and like I say, I could have any woman I want, like, right? So, but to me, that's like a rental car. You're gonna be here today, but you're not mine. You're gone. But so when you're seeking your own, and when me and Stormy got together, it was like, she the one. I know she.
Did you feel that when, like, the first FaceTime? Did you FaceTime the first time, or you just talk on the phone?
We just talked.
And the first conversations, you started hearing her, and you weren't hearing social media. You weren't hearing the speaker side. What were you feeling as you started hearing her talk?
It was her attention that she was giving me. She was giving me the attention that I was looking for. She was giving me the attention that I wanted.
What was that?
And I know that a lot of people called her phone. You know what I'm saying? And it was the little things that she did. You know how you could be on the phone, you could hit a phone, like, click or whatever, and some people were like, hold on, don't hang up, I'm gonna call it, hold on, and they'll get to the other person. She didn't do none of that. And a lot of her calls were about business. So it showed that she was into me, and that's the only thing that I needed, you know what I'm saying? And my job was just to always make her happy, always make her feel good, always make her laugh, smile. And that was my thing. So
you were feeling something from her through the phone.
It was what I wanted.
Yeah. What was it? What was the thing? Can you cue down on what you were trying to feel, like what you wanted to feel?
I wanted to feel that real strong compassion of family, that real strong love of a woman that could show me the love that I needed. You know what I'm saying? That real woman that could come in my life. It could change a lot of my thoughts. So I look for all that in her.
So Stormy, so this is his side. So come to your side. So you have the first conversation, and what was the first conversation like for you?
He had a conversation. A lot of men you talk to, they're very shallow. They only could talk about money, or the things they have. But he was smart. He read books. I remember I asked him what was his favorite book. I forgot the name.
Now Valley Contribution to
by
Civilization.
By Marcus Garvey.
No. The Philosophy and Opinions of Marcus Garvey. But my favorite book is the Now Valley Contribution to Civilization, because they have pictures in that book.
Oh, okay.
And it showed a lot.
Okay. Well, the mere fact that he knew who Marcus Garvey was, and he even read a book, most men you talk to don't even read. That was very, very important for me. I love that. I love that as we were on the phone, I noticed that he was home a lot. Like, he didn't run the streets. If he left his house, it was for business or to do something. He wasn't one of those guys that was always in the streets, like doing something that he didn't have no business. And that was very impressive to me. And because he had things to talk about, we talked about, life and our children. And he told me his story. I wanted to know what happened. Of course, he led me to his documentary. It wasn't out yet, but he was telling me about his documentary he was going to do. Yep, he was telling me about his music career. So he was involved in things. He understood things about life, not just making money and hanging out with my homeboys. Yeah, that was very important to me.
Well, so much of society has become so sexualized, right? So everything is a sex, money, and there's this rising group of people, couples, who are pursuing something.
Well, it's so empty. It's like that chapter, people that's why they like keep going on to another person, like buy a yacht, buy this, get the quick fix, high, whatever it is. But ultimately, what are they looking for? Connection.
Exactly.
And so that's probably like you guys were in a space where you were open to it, and both of you are like, wow, this is nice.
Yes.
Like somebody who actually like we connect, but like it's not just about I make money or this and that. It's like actual connection. And I truthfully believe that's what all couples are after. Whether you don't have money or you do have money, and the ones that get lost are the ones that they have so much money that they forget about the connection.
And I'm gonna tell you too, especially powerful women like us, a lot of men are intimidated. So he was the first man that I didn't have to do all the talking. That was another thing. I wanted to listen, to learn, and I was able to be quiet and let him talk without me. A lot of men come around, they're afraid, they're shy, I don't know, intimidated. But he had a lot of conversation. As you can see, OG got a lot of conversation. He's never at loss for words, ever.
Yeah, I didn't want that. I didn't want the relationship to have that kind of relationship to have the battery effect, if you get what I'm saying. You know, all relationships start off, they be so powerful. It's just like a battery. Be so powerful when they first start, and then as time go on, they wear down, and you got to recharge the battery and all that. No, I didn't want that, and I don't have that with her. And I try to keep it to that point to where each and every day I wake up, I think about something that I could do with her that could make her happy.
Thank you.
You guys been together for how long? 3 years?
2
years. It's crazy though, because it's like you have to. I mean, we've been married for 21 years.
Beautiful.
And what's crazy is like you can't ever lose that connection, right? And you have to recognize in seasons of hustle or busy or whatever that you have to come back to where you guys are at right now.
Yes.
And I think like for us, like there was years where we kind of like lost that. And then bring kids in the mix and everything else, and it's been like a wild ride. But I think that's what people get too comfortable, and they forget to date.
Yes.
And they forget really dating is just about conversation and connection. So I would encourage you guys, I mean, I know you're still fairly new, but never forget how important the connection is. And when you feel that it's like drifting, you've got to get back on track to get back connected. And that's the only reason we've been married. Is like, well, since we're drifting, and I'm like, whoa, okay, like we got to come back in,
So I have data now. So we're going to go to some data questions.
Okay.
Yes.
And you need to listen to this one.
I'm ready.
Because Stormy is your mentor and guide on this one.
Uh-oh.
So tell us about the birthday surprise.
My birthday surprise was one of the greatest birthday surprises ever.
Listen, are you listening, Danielle? I need you to pay attention.
Because
nervous, but
just
I'm
pay
ready.
attention. Continue.
My main thing is, a lot of guys might look at me, this big rough guy, this, that, and the third. But my main thing is family. And anything, any gift, I'ma always cherish. Anything a person give me, I'ma always cherish it, because I come up not having a lot of things because I didn't have family. My family was always mixed up. I had to stay over here by my aunt. I had to stay over here by my friend. Whatever. I never had the family. So my thing on what you just said is basically my family. It's family.
And you went down that path. You went down that path on family, but continue because that was how we started the conversation. Then you decided to do something for a woman that could buy anything she wants. Are you paying attention?
Wait,
okay, get ready because this is the greatest birthday gift of all time.
I'm ready.
Don't forget the birthday gift.
If I decide to do something for her,
no, he said tell him about the birthday,
gift.
Your
my birthday gift.
Yes,
your birthday gift to her.
It's my birthday gift to her.
Yes.
Oh man, I thought about doing something with a woman that have so much in this world and so satisfied with so much that she does. I'm talking about big house, Rolls Royce, gold and diamonds, money. She have everything. So what is it that a man could do for a woman like this that could make her happy? And I decided that I'm going to do something different with Stormy. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something different with her, and I'm going to do something with her that she never did before. So I bought her to skydive. I brought her to the airport in Florida, and one of these little towns in Florida, and I brought her to the airport, and we skydived. And when she seen the airplane,
that was scary.
I was
done. Tell the setup though. Tell it again. Go back and tell her you told me how you surprised her because she didn't know.
No, I didn't know.
She didn't know. So we went out to this place. You know what I'm saying? That's her birthday. We went out to this place and they had this airplane out there, and there's people out there, they have a balloon. Mm-hmm. And she like, hey, they had these balloons. So she like, what, you bought me a plane? You buying me a plane? I'm like, no, I ain't buying you no plane. We about to jump off that motherfucker. She like, what? Hell no.
You ever skydived before?
No, I will not.
I'm like, listen. Don't believe that. Don't believe that. Listen, don't believe that. Stormy would not change her mind to get on that damn plane.
I was so scared.
Stormy would not change her mind. I had to hold Stormy like a kid. Like, listen, baby, you with me. I did this before. I promise you, nothing's going to happen to you.
Oh, my God.
You heard me? That kind of triggered our mind. It was cool. But you know what really triggered Stormy mind?
Oh, no.
What really made Stormy get on that plane and dive off that plane?
Yeah, what?
They had a man that had a camera on top of his head, and Stormy is the queen of content. She's the queen of content. He had a camera on his head, and he told Stormy, when you dive off, we're gonna film you doing this, that, and the third. And Stormy like, yeah, okay, let's go. And she dove off the plane, and we had a marvelous time for her birthday. And
how far were we up? Do you remember how high?
I can't
don't even know how high they take it.
It was scary.
Feet, you heard me, but you handled it like a champ.
Yep.
You did.
Okay,
and
so tell us your side, because here's the deal. She's been invited to this many times.
This reminds me of our one of our very first dates.
If she comes with you, let me tell you something. If she believes you will protect her, which I know she do believe that. If she believes that you'll protect her, she'll
okay, well, then I have to share one quick story because it was like our second date. I'm scared of heights.
That's why.
And he surprises me and he's like, hey, guess what? We're going bungee jumping. And I'm like, no, we're not. But I did it because I was like, okay, I kind of like him. I guess I'll do it. Yeah, right. But I did it, but now, like, no. If he took me skydiving, I'd be like, we're getting divorced, but it's been fun knowing you. Just kidding.
She needs some work. I'm gonna send her to coaching with Boobie Black. You're going to get some coaching. So talk to me about your experience coming around the corner and then realizing you're going to skydive.
So he kind of was alluding to it, and I kind of wanted to do it, but I was like, for what? I don't have a point to prove to anybody. What is it going to do for my life? Fuck that. I'm not jumping off no airplane. But I kind of deep down inside wanted to do it. And when we turned the corner and I saw where we were at, I was like, you know what? I'm not a punk. So it's not the content. I don't care about no content. I was not about to get there and punk out. On my 44th birthday, I'm with him. He already paid. It's like, what am I going to do? And he's the type of person, I don't know if y'all can tell, he's very aggressive. And I didn't want him to get mad and make me feel like this small. Like, you scared, you with me and all of that, with me talking like, what he was gonna do if I would have jumped? We were gonna jump and save me. We off the plane. So when I got there and I said, you know what, God,
she was saying.
I was like, you know what, God, this is what you want me to do. What's the worst case scenario? This can't be it. I don't deserve that. You got a lot of life for me to live, a lot for me to do. And I prayed, and when we got all the way up, like when you're climbing up, it was higher than even we were in the clouds.
Yeah.
And you're looking down, and now everything looks tiny like little ants. they would not. I had no choice. How was I going to get back down?
Yeah.
And when it was time, oh my God! And they pushed me. For the first maybe 30 seconds, it was scary as hell. But once you really realize I'm here, I'm doing it. I got to do it. You just say, fuck it. You open up your hands and you're like, I'm flying. I'm a bird. And it was so quick, and it just made me feel like a whole new person. Thank you for that experience. I wouldn't have did it with nobody else. Because I'm like, I don't have to. If I felt like I had to prove to him that I'm a warrior woman. And you could take me anywhere. He doesn't like, one of the things he'll tell you what he doesn't like about a woman, if you're scary, he doesn't like scary women. That was one of the things he gave me as his prerequisite. If you scary, if I look at you like you this big, strong woman, and then you're a punk, that's a turn off. So I kind of had no choice but to impress him. How did I do, babe?
You did real good.
I jumped. I would never do it again, though. I don't think so.
But I'm gonna tell you
Check it out,
that anybody first experience jumping off a plane, they're gonna have this same thought that I had. My first experience jumping off the plane, the first thing came to my mind. I said, why did I do this shit? As soon as I jumped off, that's the first thing I said.
It's a good feeling once you jump, though.
Yeah.
I jumped for her sister's engagement, and she wouldn't jump, so we went and jumped all
I
together.
just think I'd just pass out. Like, I'm so terrified of heights. I think I'd just be like dangling, and they'd be like,
you might
okay?
they'd tap you and wake you up. Yeah,
It makes you
experience.
realize how many stuff is really in your head.
Yeah.
It's just in your head. When you're in your head, you're dead, It's not
Yeah,
that
yeah.
serious. Once you get out and the parachute opens up, it feels like you're floating. And it's an exhilaration in your heart that feels like, man, I could conquer anything. I just jumped off of a plane.
Hey, you bungee
But, like-
jumped and you paraglided
But like, don't
way
don't
high.
let her give you any good ideas. We're not going to book that first prize party or surprise birthday.
You know, JR.
It's right up the street. It's like 2 hours from
No,
here.
don't
2
tell
hours
her.
from here.
Don't tell
We'll give you the address.
Nope.
We got it worked
no,
out.
absolutely
We
not.
know what we're doing. Okay, so come back. So
Okay.
you two are talking on the phone and FaceTiming back. How long until you see each other in person?
I think it was like about
2 months.
2 months, yeah. Like around 2
And
months.
how often were you talking?
Every
Every
day.
day.
Oh,
We'll
really?
FaceTime. We'll fall
We
asleep,
fall
on the
asleep
phone
on the
together.
phone.
Did you guys
together.
both live
I,
here?
I still got pictures of her on the phone. I screenshot and
Sleep.
sent it to her.
He lives in Houston.
Oh, okay.
So we had a long distance relationship, FaceTime. Like, how you as kids fall asleep on the phone with
Yeah.
your boyfriend?
Yeah.
We fell asleep on FaceTime together. We'll wake up on FaceTime together. He'll video me sleep, take a picture of me sleep. I take
Yeah.
a picture of him sleep. And I met him 2 months finally face to face after conversations. He had to graduate. Like, he didn't start FaceTiming me right away. Like, FaceTime is a graduation.
Yeah.
So he graduated to like FaceTime. And then it went from just conversation on FaceTime to brushing your teeth on the FaceTime to, hey, I'm jumping out the shower. And I'm like, hey, on the FaceTime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
our FaceTime relationship really created a deeper bond. FaceTime,
Yeah.
shouts out to, Steve Jobs. We need the Apple phone. It helped our
Yes.
relationship.
So how long had you been communicating in FaceTime before you actually met in person?
2 months.
Oh, okay.
And he
Until
flew
this,
to Miami.
until this day, I don't think it been a day where we haven't conversated on the phone from the day that we met.
No, we talk every
We
day.
talk every day.
But then he decides to fly to Miami. So I used to have this thing for short men. I never told him this until today. And when I first saw him, I picked him up from the airport. He could probably tell y'all this story. But when I first saw him, I was like, wow, he is extra tall. He's not regular tall. He's not 6 tall. He's like 6'5" tall.
How tall are you?
6'4".
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were into much shorter men.
I did. I used to like short and muscles.
Got it.
He's like the tallest man I ever dated.
So you see him, you see he's tall.
I see
You've
him.
had
I
the
see he's
connection
tall.
for 2 months, and
She hid from me. I didn't see her. She hid from me. The first time I
She
saw
hid from
Stormy, I felt somebody touch me on my back. And when I turned around, it was the most beautiful
So he
woman I seen
flew
in my
down
life.
here to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and I wanted to do things different. I was used to, you catered to me, like everything was, you catered to me. I'm the prize. But when I started to date OG, I wanted to create a new narrative. Like, you're not the prize, we're the prize. I'm the prize and you're the prize. So I was trying this new, he was like my new test. I was testing out a new Stormy version of how to date. I had got out of a real ugly relationship. I dated a guy I shouldn't have dated like several times. And when I met him and I started to see that he had good character, good conversation, he understands being a protector. He's not a punk. I do not like no soft man. I said, you know what? I want to make him feel appreciated and seen. So when I went to the airport, I always have a driver. Like, I don't drive, so I pulls up in my Rolls Royce.
Shout out Vanessa.
I don't even think he knew I had a Rolls Royce at the time, unless he saw it on Instagram. Like, we didn't talk about our things. So we got to the airport, and I decided to. It was not Vanessa. It was Trina at the time.
It was Trina.
It was Trina.
Yep.
I had a driver that I just paid her 6 figures a year just to drive for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So we go pick him up, and I say, you know what I want to do? Let me out. I'm gonna go inside and greet him at the baggage claim. He didn't have no inclination. He's thinking I'm gonna pull up. What, Stormy Wellington jumping out of the car? So I knew that I was gonna make a great first time impression on him. So I met him at baggage claim. He didn't know I was out the car. So I'm looking and I see this big tall guy. I'm like, oh my God, there he go. So I actually snuck up behind him at baggage claim and gave him a hug. And our first time seeing each other, first face to face, was at the
It was
baggage
amazing.
claim in Fort Lauderdale.
I never had a date like that in my entire life. And it was amazing. I'm talking about when you got the caliber woman that could pick you up from the airport in a Rolls Royce truck, bring you to Whole Foods, get fruits and all these different things, and don't tell you nothing about what she's about to do. Bring you to the dock on her yacht, introduce you to her people, you know, take you on the water, eat fruit, but you talk about life. But you still on this yacht. You was on a plane a few minutes ago. You just come from home a few minutes ago. You with this woman you've been talking to for 2 months. Y'all are on a yacht. And it don't end there. Bring you to the restaurant. Wine and dine you in this, man.
So our first
I
date,
can't, man.
I
this-
wanted to.
Nobody
again,
can compete with that.
He didn't know I had. He didn't know
I
had
say
a
that
yacht,
all the
right?
time. Let me say this. This is what I say
OG
all the
gonna
time.
speak. He gonna overtalk
You play and you gonna lay. I'm gonna let you know something to let you. I'm gonna tell you something to let you know that you don't have a chance, no type of way with me. And you know you have girls that play all the time. They come in the DM. They do this. Man, listen. You don't have a yacht. Better yet, you don't have a Rolls Royce. Better yet, you don't have. Put it all like this. You're not Stormy Wellington. Period. Don't fucking try it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's my thing, man. It's never been nobody in my life. Remember what I said about, you know, my first relationship. I left that relationship, you know, and to come into something like this with her, she was heaven sent. You know what I'm saying? She was sent from heaven for a fact. I know she's my angel.
So let me add to this. So he didn't know I had a yacht.
Never.
I didn't want him to be impressed with my materials,
Right.
but I also wanted him to experience the stuff. But I wanted to see how he was going to respond. He doesn't know this. So when I first picked him up from the airport, he didn't know where we were going. He had no idea. And so we went to Whole Foods where he's saying I went and bought some fruits and all this stuff because I wanted it to be just him and I on the yacht. I didn't even have a mate. It was just me, him, and the captain. And I also went and bought a puzzle. I wanted us to put this puzzle together because, number one, I wanted to see how he thinks, and I wanted to see if we could work together. So I bought, don't laugh, but I bought a 5-year-old puzzle just to see how our chemistry was in working together. Yeah. And we put that puzzle together. It took us like 10 minutes, but we did it. I wanted to see if we were going to argue, if he was going to get mad. Like, I really wanted to kind of get there quick. And so that was our first date. And we talked, we enjoyed, and he didn't seem like, he wasn't quick to take pictures. I'm on Coach Stormy's yacht. I wanted to see if he was going to act like a groupie because I've attracted that too as well. So to see how he handled my luxury lifestyle like it was normal was very important to me.
So
and I wanted to give him that experience quick.
So we're going to back it up for a second because you made a mission critical pivot as a woman. One of the hardest things that we've seen in relationships. I mean, I worked with over 70,000 guys, and most of their relationships,
I know what you're saying.
most of them, the women struggle with this idea of adding value to their man.
I was gonna say, make your man feel like the man.
So but you're like, hey, I'm gonna do it different, right? So, and particularly if you are married to powerful women who have resource, the war zone begins. And a lot of the comments we've heard from women over the years is, and even Danielle was like at that time for years with us, he already has a big ego. I don't want to stoke that ego anymore. Walk back on the shift for you as a woman to go to this new place. You have the influence, you have the money, you have the power, you have the authority, you have all these things, but there's a piece of you that shifts in your mind to do it different. And Danielle's made that shift in our marriage. What caused this shift in you? Because a lot of the women listening to this and a lot of the guys listening to the show, they're desperate. The women are desperate to make this shift. The men are dying trying to find a way to help these women make the shift because a lot of it is critical, attack, negging, cutting down. not desiring it. It's just been that way for a long time in their relationship. How did you make the pivot? Like, what started causing your mind to shift? And I'm going to ask you the same question because you've made the turn on it too and become, in the last 4 or 5 years with me, much more soft and caring and loving. And she was, before that, very much boss bitch. I'm going to do my way. And there was so much contention between us.
It was like competition that neither of us wanted.
So what was it? How did this shift occur?
You know, it's interesting because my heart is actually beating because I have to say things as truth because I just speak truth. I got into a place where I started to observe myself. I said, every relationship that failed, something is my fault. Something I'm doing wrong, something I'm doing to attract these type of men. And I realized that, and oh my God, this is so scary to tell this truth. I used to get pleasure out of taking a man's manhood. If you let me punk you, I don't want to date a punk. And so I didn't want to find out again in the midst of a problem. I've dated people in the past, and I thought they were men, that they was going to take up for me, you know, protect me, and they didn't. I found out in the situation that he's not as man as I thought he was. So I said, I don't want to go through that again. I want to see if you a punk fast. Are you gonna let me disrespect you? I will. I've made man cry. I've told a man he was a bitch and he cried. I've told a man he was soft and he didn't do nothing about it. And I just really decided this time around that not only do I not want to do that, because I could see men crying right now as I did that to them. I have 2 sons. I am a queen, and I believe that I deserve the best. So if I'm dating this man, why do I want my man to be like a bitch? Why do I want my man, like somebody said to me, that woman told him to wash the dishes. I'm not going to tell my man to wash the dishes. First of all, I don't even want to see him washing the dishes for me telling him. If he gonna wash the dishes, I want to know he took his manhood and wanted to wash the dishes because that's what he wanted to do. I want to see OG as a man. I want to respect him as a man. I want to honor him as a man. I want to treat him like a king, because when I make him feel like a man, it makes him desire to make me feel like a woman. So the more I make him feel like he's the king, I respect him, I honor him, you're the king, he gonna want to treat me the same way. So I want the reciprocity, and I believe in that. So I don't want to try to do anything disrespectful to him. I try my best. I rub his back, I rub his shoulders, I make his plate, I bring his drink, I rub his feet. You know, I want my man to be like, I'm a king. Because if he feels like a king, guess what I'm gonna be? I can't be a queen without a king.
Right.
So I just like to give that gift to him, and I know that if another woman comes around, what could she do? She can't. I know what parts of his body he like me to touch. I know when he's going through or when he's mad. I used to be like, what's wrong? What's wrong, honey? I asked him one time, what's wrong? If he's saying nothing. Okay, baby, all right, bye. I want him to stay in his manhood, and it's my responsibility to keep him there. That's how I feel.
Holy shit. Arguably the greatest 2 minutes on this show's history. Like what you just spoke, interesting enough, is what every man wants to feel and hear.
Wow.
And I sit in rooms with hundreds of powerful men who would give their entire kingdoms away financially, to have that experience with a woman, to have it with their wife. And these women are so scarred and hardened and shut down. They do exactly that. And they attack. Like the gift that you're getting from it, it's an acceleration, OG, of what you already are. It's being empowered. And I love the words you're using with it too, Stormy, because it is literally you are being a prophetess, speaking the truth and activating the power inside of him, versus the opposite, which is this attack and cutting down. And we do such fucked up shit in relationships.
On both sides.
To each other, both the guys. I mean, I was turning Danielle into a man. Like I was triggering her to be a weapon in a different way. I've trained her to not be soft and affectionate with me. I turned her into a physical, like a emotionally violent, verbally person.
But it was like
with me.
He wasn't talking to me like his wife.
I talked to her like a dude.
Businessman and this and that. But it was interesting too. I love that you said, I looked at my past relationships and I owned that I was 50% a part of it. Even if you feel like you were the victim or in the wrong or this guy's an asshole, like you have to understand in a relationship, you played 50% of that role. And so when you look at it from that frame, you're like, okay, well, how do I not get in this situation again?
Exactly.
And when you make those conscious efforts to be like, oh, okay, I've got to like make him feel like the man, in turn he treats you like a queen.
Exactly.
I think that's so important for women to understand. But I think the biggest problem is like you guys have a fresh start. So it's like here, you know, when we're coaching other couples, it's like, how do you get that inside of a relationship to really like let go of those past people? And I feel like we have done that. That's what makes us different, because we had this period where we were like butting heads and we were fighting. We were both dudes in the relationship, and it's like I didn't want to be that. Like I wanted to be feminine, and I wanted to have my man, and so I had to like figure it out being married after like 7 years of like, you know, butting heads and being like, who is this guy? But I think that's what a lot of people get in this place of marriage, and there's too much scarring. And so a lot of times they're unwilling to do the work. And so I feel like that's where we both kind of come back together to try and do the work. But it's still a balance, you know, it's still.
But it's the pivot that you're talking about, though, right? So whether you've been together for 25 years or you've been together for 2 or you've been together for 6, if what she's talking about doesn't happen, and ladies, I'm throwing you under the fucking bus on this one, okay? Because I'm around men who they will try to do everything they possibly can. Most men are good men. They're not trying to be assholes. Yes, we're reactive. Yes, we have our moments. Yes, we have stress. Yes, we face this. But most men, genuinely, most guys I meet, they chose the woman they're with because they love that woman. And they want to feel desired, no different than a woman wants to feel desired. And I get it, guys fuck it up and they do a lot of stupid shit and they kind of ruin this situation. But without that shift, and I watched her go through it too, she made the decision about 4 or 5 years ago. Because it was fucking rough for us. Because I would come home, she's running her business, I'm coming home, I'm wanting to walk into a home where I can feel, okay, I've been at war today, I've dealt with this and this lawsuit and these fucking assholes and these people stole from us and these people talking shit all day long on social media. Plus I'm dealing with all this darkness. And I would come home and we would go to war at home, which had me and I didn't want to be at the house. I'm like, okay, now I got to go home and be at war with my woman. Because she's in her masculine, her intensity in her business, which you kind of have to be able to get shit done. But there was and I didn't know how to not move. Right? Which is like, how do I not move? Even if she comes to that, because part of it was on me. Which, OG, this was stuff we were talking about before we got in the show, like just an ability to ground yourself as a man. So even if she has her moment, Danielle has her moment, and they do the thing, we don't move.
Yeah.
So knowing this is, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, for me, it's like, we're going to have those moments, but it's like, I have to feel like safe with him. Like if I have that moment, it's not like, there she goes again. It's like, no, I'm a female and sometimes I'm going to have those moments, but it's been a dance. I mean, I feel like we're good now, but it's always like something that I have to make like a conscious effort to be like, hey, I want to be treated like the queen. So I have to kind of go into more like my feminine mode, even because like we always want to talk about business and life. And I'm like, no, let's just have fun, date night, like keep it flirty. I like tell myself, keep it flirty, keep it light, you know. And sometimes that's all it needs to happen.
I don't think no man on the face of this earth want to go through what the average man go through. Like he say, he's working all day, got so much shit going on with so many different people, and he have to come home to a prison to feel like, you know, he's locked up, or feel like, oh shit, now I gotta defend myself. I feel like, man, I gotta protect myself from this and make sure I don't say this because this gonna happen. I don't think no man deserves that. And if a man has that, I don't think the relationship is I'm looking for the right word to say. If a man don't have that, I don't think the relationship is a relationship that he should continue with.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, you know, if I could tell you how to treat me and I could tell you how I want to be treated, and I have to come home and be in jail every day, you know what I'm saying? Evidently, you're not paying attention to what I told you, so therefore you're not the woman for me. You know, and sometimes we try to fix things, and the things we try to fix it don't never turn out right, because the person still stay on that same avenue. And I'm scarred by that because I had that before. So that's why I'm bringing it to y'all podcast. It's nothing to do with Stormy. It's just the past, you know. And I know that feeling, you know, the when you come home to the person that's supposed to treat you like, you know, the man that you are, you get treated like a prisoner in the penitentiary.
You know, I tell you, I play this game with myself. I think this would be good for the podcast. I wasn't going to tell it because I'm giving him my secret tricks. But I
Ladies need to know.
Yeah, this is going to be good. Ladies, y'all may want to like pause this and write some stuff down. So I am an alpha female.
Yes.
And for a long time, I thought I needed a feminine man. I thought I was so alpha that I had to have a man that was in his feminine. Because we all live in both feminine and masculine energies, right?
Yeah.
He's very masculine. But he has his feminine side too. And this is a game that I started playing on myself like 2 years ago. And it works. And I think it helped our relationship. So I imagine if I was a man, because I am masculine. I am. But I'm, you know, what would I want for my woman? And I play that game with myself. So I say, Stormy, you the man. Be the woman for your man. What would you want? I would want a woman that smelled good, that kept herself hygiene right, shaved, that acknowledged me while she at her meeting. I'll be in the middle of a meeting working, like we go places together. I'm so grateful he knows how to get out of the way. Because if a man comes to meet me or talks to me, OG right there, he may feel uncomfortable because OG is very intimidating. He knows how to get away to the point where unless you follow us on social media, you won't even know he's my man because he's out of the way. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. If I'm in an environment, I'm like, don't forget your man is over there. Go bring him a water. Blow him a kiss. Hey, Book Nuke. Hey, baby, I see you. Hi. So I do the things that I would want. If I was a man, how would I want my woman to treat me? I would want her to make my plate. I would want her to think about me. I want her to send me cute pics. Like, all the things I would want. I just play this game. So I say, Stormy, pretend that you the woman for your man. You understand? If I was a man, what would I want?
Yeah.
So I always ask myself, because whatever you want, 9 times out of 10, the man wants that too.
Yeah.
We both want the same things.
Yeah.
Of course, he doesn't want me to give him a bouquet of flowers, but he wants something to feel special too. It may not be flowers. What else can I do to make him feel special? Like I know OG loves for me to cook. I don't like cooking that much, but when I cook, that's me letting him know I love you that much that I'm gonna go in the kitchen and cook, because that's what I would want my woman to do for me if I was a man.
So it's love too. You heard?
It's a game.
How do you flip it? Like, what if you were like Stormy saying, like, this is what I would do for my man? What would you do?
Exactly.
What would I do for my man if I was gay?
Yeah. No.
No.
The
Okay.
other way
What would you do for
around.
your if you were the
Put yourself
woman,
in the woman's shoes.
Yeah.
and she was the man?
Yeah.
What kind of things would you want?
If you were the man and
Yes.
I was the woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Reverse it.
Reverse it.
What things would I want?
Yes.
Okay.
Reverse it.
Reverse
So
roles.
she's saying all the things she
I
would
reverse
want her man
roles.
to do.
I think about that stuff.
Yeah. So
Because
if
we
I
always
reversed
want the
with
same
you,
thing. Yes.
I
Seeing if
would-
it works both ways.
Exactly.
I would want. Well, this is new thinking for me, so I'm stepping into this right now.
Okay.
Okay, so if I wanted, what would I want?
If you
I would want.
the woman in the relationship, what
Yeah,
would you want
I
your
would
man to
want.
do for
I want my man to come in the house with no phone.
You can't. Okay, I was gonna say, okay, no, that's good.
I like that. Okay, go ahead. I like
Like
this.
because I would want to feel. I would want to feel like I've supported you for the day to go kill and do the things you're doing. But then when you step across the threshold of the
Presence.
house, that you're present and you're here with me. Second, I would want you to see. I would want to see you with my children, connecting with my kids, playing with my children, caring about the kids. I also want to see that you cared about what I did today, like what things did that I was up to. I had a crazy day too, but maybe it was different than your day. But I want to know what that was about. What other things would I want? I'd want to feel your presence, like focus.
Connection.
Yeah, focus. And then I want you to surprise me.
What's the surprise?
Any
Skydiving.
surprise?
No.
Skydiving.
I was like, yeah, I saw his mind completely go to man mode. Like, why don't you surprise me? Come
He's
down
trying to trick
lingerie.
you.
I'm like, no.
He's trying to trick you, Danielle.
Yeah, I
He
know.
went back to
Yeah,
himself.
no.
See how he tricked you real quick?
So I was like, wait a minute. Why am I
I'm like,
going
wait a second, I'm
skydiving?
figuring this game out. I'm going to slide one in there real quick.
No, your mind went to man mode.
I like
It
that
was
he
like-
tricked you. But I want to ask OG that.
That
do you
actually
want?
breaks
I
my
would-
brain.
I would want-
It kind of breaks my
Because you want to
brain.
go into guy frame and be like, I want you to come home to lingerie. I'm like, no, you're not the other way around.
Yeah.
I would want everything that, if I was the woman and you was the man, I would want everything that I'm receiving from you right now.
I'm doing
Everything.
good. See, I'm doing good.
See, she knew.
I don't have a problem. It's like the little things Stormy do. It makes me feel like so incredible.
What
You
little
know,
things does she do that makes you feel incredible?
She'll do something like, like she'll tell Vanessa, we gonna get Vanessa involved. I'll make sure my man gets something to eat when you order mine. And make sure my man is always her man. And that makes you feel good. Remember I was talking to you in the back, I said it's always good just to have that person just to care about you. Just a little. Just to have that little voice say where he at, what he doing, how he doing today. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's how Stormy is. She always makes sure that I'm relevant. She always makes sure that she keep me, you know what I'm saying, at the top of the chain, you know?
But you know, you have to know your man more than they know themselves. And you should know your woman more than she knows herself. Like, I know when OG has an attitude, it's only 3 things. Something happened to his kids, something happened to one of his friends, or somebody that was in the presence of us did something that he didn't like. I know that already. So some days I just would say, I'm going to leave him alone until we get home. Because if I keep asking him, he's already angry about it's either his daughter, something happened to one of his friends, or somebody did something he didn't like that's around us. So if I keep trying to talk about it with him, right in the moment, he going to get mad. And when he gets mad, it's not good. Because I know that about him more than he even knows. I just would be quiet. So if you ever see me quiet and he quiet, it's because I know OG's upset and I don't want to make him madder. I should know that. I should know that he's always going to fix my dress and he's going to, you know, he cares what shoes, or those Dunks or those Nikes or those Air Force One, what kind of shoes. I know he doesn't like me to wear Air Jordans. There's a difference between Dunks and Nikes. He pays attention to that. So I have a bunch of Nikes I need to give away. A particular, it's not the what is it, the Air Force Ones.
Yeah.
So I know that. I think nothing is wrong with them, but he thinks it's corny.
Yeah.
I think my Nike Jordans are fire, but I know in the back of my mind, to him, and that may sound so small, but if I put on those Jordans, he doesn't like it. Why would I put them on?
Yeah. Well, I think it's funny because, like, I tell Garrett, I'm like, I dress because I'm like, what would Garrett think is cute?
Exactly.
Like, sometimes I want to wear something comfortable. In the back of my mind, I'm like, he's going to want me to put on something kind of slutty.
Exactly.
So
See,
like,
you know your man.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
True.
See?
True.
It's funny, I'll even ask him, like, what do you want me to wear tonight, every day night? Something slutty. I'm like, okay, that's
See?
easy.
Look at that. You got to know what your man likes and give it to him. So he never have to look for anybody else to give it to
This exercise is actually crazy.
Yeah.
Because when you put it on me, I was like, because I was curious about how you did it, and then you put it on me, I was like, dude, it's even hard for my brain to try to
flip it.
reverse
I know.
it. Like to try to go from that frame. But it's interesting because if you think about it from that place, like that it's what I do every day in business. I'm putting myself in the situation of my guy.
Yeah, you're like, what does my
Or
client
the situation
want?
of the person
Yeah.
I'm talking to. But it's interesting how that's not even been a natural thought for me. Like, what is a space? Although I feel like I do things based upon I've done things based upon what you've told me.
Yeah.
Like things you want. Like I used to have a hard time with their shopping. Like really hard time with their
Yeah,
shopping.
he knows, but he knows, and
That was a good flip
he
for
knows
me.
it's important.
It took me a minute.
It's like not important, but it's like a creative outlet for me. He would go, we would go shopping, and I would like couldn't enjoy my shopping. I'd be like, can you take the stick out of your ass and like enjoy this?
Exactly.
I think that's a problem with every man and every woman when it comes to shopping. A man cannot do it, and she can't do that shit, man. I mean, y'all will be in the mall. We spending money. Oh, I gotta go get these stockings because it match with this blouse. What the hell? You go all the way upstairs, talk to the lady in the department, for a while about a scarf. Then you have to go get a jacket from over on this side. It's just so much, man.
Oh.
So you know what I do? Find the nearest Starbucks.
Yeah, you got to camp out and support.
Chill, but when I'm not walking, it's a problem. Yeah. If I'm not everywhere, it's a problem. Like, what I'm over here for, I'm supposed to be with my woman.
We want you to be excited about the stockings.
Exactly.
That was a shift. So,
a day shopping with your woman is like, man, it's like hell.
You know how you can get laid more if you're excited about the stockings.
Exactly.
Yeah, but so that's what I do. I'm excited about that. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, okay, baby. I'm real supportive. Am I supportive?
Yes, you are.
Of the
Thank
I walk in the stores where they have number of women in the stores and, babe, you like this? Yeah, I like it, baby. This is a woman's store. Can't you see? What I'm in here for? They got bikinis over here.
He don't act like that.
This over here.
He don't act like that. So thank you. I didn't know you felt that way. I just learned something new.
Yeah.
So I had to make the big shift because I used to get real.
You get like almost
negative.
angry about it, and I'd be like, "I'm spending my money, not even spending your money."
It don't matter if you're spending the money that you want from the lottery. It's just the moving around, back and forth, in colorful stores.
And be very meticulous. This has to be precisely the same color that goes this.
But the funny part is, here's
But
Danielle.
I love to be with
I've
her.
learned with Danielle, I have to like push her off the cliff now. So it's like the opposite.
Oh,
so
now he's learned
she has
my
a habit
game.
that drives me nuts with it, which is she'll go into a store, like she'll go into any store, Chanel, whatever. Like she'll go into the store, she'll look at the thing that she's already been looking at on her phone.
Yeah.
I learned that.
Already
She's
made a
just
decision.
searching the phone for the things that she wants. Then we'll go into the store, she'll see the things she wants, she'll
Don't
look
load
at
it
it,
down.
she'll try on the things. She's got like all the guys and gals helping. She's got the best friend gay guy who's like the best closer
yeah.
of all time. They are way better than the girls. Like they just close the shit out of her every
Yes.
time in every country we've ever
Yes,
been to. I'm like,
yes.
oh, here comes a gay guy in the store. He is definitely locking this down. Like, my guy, I'll
We
stand
love
to the
him.
side. Off
But
you
can
go.
I say this? I'm gonna cut you off. That's where the greatest fashion designers come from. They
I
come
know.
from Rome. Somewhere they come from places where a lot of them was gay.
Yes.
You look at your Versace. What his name? Gianni Versace. He was the best designers.
Yes.
If you look at them, you do a
Like,
history
so-
on them. They were
Well, and they're the best closers
designers
in every
ever.
store. Yes? Is it
Yes,
true?
they are, of course.
And they're like...
They know how to make
it's
you feel good.
Yeah, I was gonna
shopping
say
buddy.
that's what it is.
When I was asking Danielle, but anyways, like to the point of what she does, she'll go in and get the thing, and then she'll do this. Okay, can you hold it?
Yeah, me too.
Can you hold it?
We gotta make sure.
Yeah, you gotta
Why
think about
are
it.
you having them hold it? You already know we're coming back, because then the thing you're talking about, then we'll go all the way down to wherever the shops are, and we'll do lots
Well,
of
I
hold
forgot
it,
to
hold
go-
it,
I
buy
gotta
this,
go
buy
back
this,
and
hold
get
it,
that.
and
Then you
we
gotta go
already know
back.
she's coming back. She comes back every time it gets it, but she also has a clock in her brain where she knows how much she's spending, and then
Yeah, I
she
got to make
feels
sure
weird
there's
about
nothing
it.
else I want.
Exactly.
You know.
And then I just come back and push her over the cliff now. So then she'll be like, yeah, can we hold it? We're just getting it right now because I know we're coming back already.
He doesn't want to make the walk back.
You know what I
That's
think
right.
it is? You know what I think it is? I think it's more of a woman thing and a man thing. Because a man, me as a man, I don't know about every other man, I could go in the mall and be in there, I'm talking about a half an hour, I'm done.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking I'm the freshest in the club on a party, I'm done. I just know I got everything.
In 30
And I
minutes?
probably done went to like 1 or 2 stores, but women, no, they have the panties got to match the dress.
Yeah.
And a blouse, everything got to be perfect. You know, so a day in the mall with your woman is like that's like their amusement park. You know, they ain't worrying about how tired you. They ain't worrying about your legs hurt. They ain't worrying about you hungry. They
But
got
how
a
much
little-
do you appreciate it though? Like
Yeah,
when the package all comes together, you
we
know.
do. And then I did see I got to do this. If I'm not doing this, we're not together. So we walk and we hold hands
Yeah,
through the
see?
whole
It's
mall.
time.
I give everybody like, yeah, you could peep and you could look. Don't touch and don't think though. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're going to shift. I got a question.
Okay, come on.
So this shift that you have and the connection you two are building, my experience is that when God becomes part of a conversation, like, or even if it starts with this spirituality and consciousness as a conversation, it has a massive impact on just the ability to be connected. And we've seen that with ourselves too, is like, I've come closer to God. My capacity in our relationship has expanded deeply. It's opened up different capabilities in me to actually see and listen and experience her. Stormy, starting with you, and then OG will come to you. Like, what is that for you, and how do you feel that plays out? The conversation of God, the conversation of source power for you. Like, how does that play out for you, and what do you think the impact is with you and OG?
That's a good question. You know what? We just be. I meditate every morning at 8. I used to want to force my man, you got to do this with me. You got to do what I'm doing. And I don't do that anymore. I have my moment, and I let him have his moment. We don't really talk about our relationship with God. We more so live it out in our lives. I see him doing what he does on his own, and then I do what I do on my own. And I think it's more of how we treat each other, less of conversation, more of the actions. So we haven't even gotten into a deep conversation about it. I think it's more so he sees me meditate, he goes and does his thing. He knows that I have my spiritual routines that I do, but I don't really try to force him into my spiritual world. I more so watch how he shows up. So we haven't gotten to that part in our relationship. And I don't know if it's the thing that's going to get to that point in our relationship, but we don't really talk about our real believings. Like we prayed together one time, right? And I wanted to see how he prayed. And when he knew the Lord's Prayer, I was like, okay, he recited it on his own. And so I don't talk about God a lot with OG. We more so live our lives in a godly manner. And I think that's more conversation than a conversation. What do you say?
I talk to God a lot, and I talk to God a lot in private. And most of the time when I talk to him, it's because I just thank him for the things that he done for me, and I just ask him to always keep my relationship strong, and keep you around and not to never lose you. And it could be some dark times to where I be in my feelings about whatever the situation may be about. I talk to God.
But I want to ask you a question because I don't know if he quite understood what you said.
Mm-hmm.
In our relationship, we haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be candid with you. I think that I'm a little afraid to talk about like certain things with him. Just me being, I feel like I could do this right now. We don't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
When did y'all start integrating the conversation? Because I think it's kind of uncomfortable too.
Well,
hold
go ahead,
on.
Danielle can say.
So we were raised Mormon, and
You were raised Mormon.
Both of us were raised Mormon.
Okay.
So we met under like the Mormon frame and got married in the Mormon temple, like everything. And we ended up leaving the church probably like 10 years ago. We lost 15 years. We lost everything financially and really kind of got us to question like our culture, our community, religion, everything. And we kind of went on this journey of like, we were scared to talk about God or anything. It was just like, oh, source. Oh, we're spiritual. I'd be like, oh, I'm super spiritual. Because I've always felt like I was very in tuned. Like, oh, my gut said do this. But really now I'm like, my gut is God, listening to God. And forever, it was just, we didn't even have this God conversation. At all. This is like actually kind of new for us in the last couple years. And we didn't think, it wasn't like we felt like we needed to bring it up. It was just like, hey, we're not practicing this religion anymore, but we're working on ourselves and that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden we were like, having conversations. I'm like, well, what do you think about this? And it's like, well, what do you think about this? And we'd have like these deep, like spiritual conversations that we were kind of scared to bring up.
Exactly.
And then we would both had like these similar beliefs that we were like, oh, you think that too? Because I kind of thought I was crazy.
So we haven't gotten there yet.
No, we haven't really talked.
And
about
it is scary.
A lot of
so I'm glad that y'all told me because I was wondering.
I mean, we were married 10 years and it was still scary.
Well,
So,
the piece, like I had been pursuing, so when we left the Mormon church, I was done with anything remotely close to any form of religion. And truly, I wanted to talk to no one who was a Christian.
Right.
I just didn't give a shit. Like I took it all because I was raised in such guilt and shame and obligation and a checklist of just orthodoxy. I never really had a relationship with God at all. Like it was more of
the religion.
Here is the shit you have to do, and just so you know, you can't do it all, but we're going to tell you can do it all, and you must do it all. And if you don't do it all, you're a piece of shit. And this energy of scarcity and fear and doubt and worry. So when we walked, she was like, oh, so thank goodness, because I was not really in at all. And I was like, I'm done. And I felt a prompt inside to be.
And how many years ago was this?
It was 15 years ago.
Wow, okay.
So then I went into meditation, energy work, ended up in psychedelics. Like I went to, if it was whatever was the opposite, I went and did that. I started studying Hinduism and Buddhism and hired shamans and hired meditation coaches, and we're going meditation retreats every weekend and just trying to figure out how to be. I was studying Byron Katie and Debbie Ford and learned about Dark Side of the Light Chasers and Loving What Is and all these conversations. I'm like, I'm so fucked up from this religion. I can't create a distinction between this idea of God and this checklist of orthodoxy that was so fierce I couldn't do anything with it. So, and she was always way more free than me. Like she just was like free in her soul to just express life. She just never bought into it. I, on the other hand, was raised with parents who were just, this is how the fuck it is. And you are going to do this. And I love my mother. She's wonderful. And she did the best she knew how to do.
Exactly.
And so she raised me with a fear that I would go to hell and that we would never be together after this life if I didn't do this. And so she took on tons of guilt and shame as a mother.
Wow.
So when we broke away from it, then I again went this other path. Everybody thinks I'm completely insane. And for over a decade, I spent 12, 13 years just pursuing consciousness. Like, what does this mean? Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Like, if it had anything to do with this idea of trying to understand truth, like we were talking about this, OG, about being seekers, like wanting to find. But Jesus was not part of my conversation. God was not part. I didn't call it. At Warrior for 10 years, we called it The Voice. That's it. We wouldn't talk about any of it. She didn't want to talk about it with me. I'd actually come home from meditation retreats after 3 days of meditating, and I'd be like so like grounded, just like, and then I would come into her and I'm like, I'd come up to her and I'd go,
He'd be like, look into my eyes. And I
and
was
she's like, oh my God, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
like, are you still
high?
high?
Oh my God.
And I'd be like this weird
Like
spiritual
forced
ass, like,
connection.
I want to.
I'm like, the demons are still in there.
I got a question. Who is God?
Who is God? For me, God is a creation. Like God is the infinite creation.
Is God a person? Was he of a fleshly body?
So this is where we begin to diverge from a lot of traditional Christian beliefs, which is wild because I, at a fundamental level, experience that I am God.
Yes. Come on, tell me.
And in this, it's difficult when people see this. When people hear this, people hear Kanye West say this, and they hear a lot of people say this, and they're like, this is fucking craziness. Yeah. I've had too many experiences in psychedelics, and people are like, oh, he's a drug user. No. It's pure ceremonial sacrament for me. The methods we were using, etc. Meditative experiences. I was in ultra running for 3 years and would run 50, 60, 100 miles. And I'd have these moments where I just disappeared from my body and would feel things. Now, she was experiencing this the whole time, but we never talked about it. I was having the same experience as she was having. She was talking to God, and I didn't know it, and she would never tell me. And I was talking to God, and I was never telling her, but we didn't call it God. We just...
Well, I'd have like these thoughts and these feelings. I was like, I can't speak that out loud. I can't say like, I think we're all part of being a God. I'm like, that's scary. Like, who's going to think, who does she think she is?
Right.
So I'm having these feelings, and then we start having these conversations, and I was like, there's something to this.
So while people look at it like think of it this way. Like people try to tell me stories. They're like, okay, well, when we die and then we go back to Jesus. I'm like, okay, so you can't comprehend even in the slightest. Think of this. God is the energy, the power, the being, the ultimate creator, is the only creator who created from nothing. In the beginning were the heavens and the earth. And the earth was without form, and darkness covered the deep. And the Spirit of God moved across the waters. Verse 3. God spoke light. He said, let there be light. And there was light. Boom. Spark of creation begins. From nothing. You, me, you, all four of us, we always create from something. We're inspired by something. We look around, we see things. There's shit everywhere. There's stuff. There's people. There's ideas. We're using all of this material around us to create. God created from nothing. We were the breath. God chose dust and breathed breath into dust, and we exist. That breath was us. We are that breath that came and are
From
connected from God. Hence, we are God. Which is a wild place because the brain can't comprehend this. And so I try to talk about it, and I'm very, very, very much into the idea of the blood of Christ and the power of who Christ was. And what he was is what he is. And I accept this. I receive this deeply. And I know this to be true for myself. Couldn't have told you that 3 years ago. But my path into it was so different. And also my experience of it. That's why there's such a deep, rich relationship I have with God. Is it a man and another man and a Holy Spirit? Are these the things? It's kind of like Wi-Fi. I'm like, I don't really know how the internet works.
Right.
I just know when it's not working.
Yeah, correct.
And what I know is that we're measured on our fruit.
Exactly.
So when I look at you two and your relationship and your connection, you two are crushing 99.9% of relationships on the planet. And people are like, well, they're not technically married, or they're not this or that. And you're like, all the fucking checklists come out, and you're like, yeah, but here's the problem. The scriptures even say we're not judged by anything but one thing, which is you will know a man or woman by their fruit. So when you two talk about it, you're like, hey, we don't really talk about it. We didn't either. And we've been together for 23 years and we didn't start talking about it. And she wouldn't even say the word God until about a year and a half ago. And it blew me. We were on stage and she like said it. And I was like, she wouldn't even say it.
It was like almost like you can't say that, mix it with business. You can't. And then I was like, you know what? If I think source is the most powerful thing, what's more powerful than that? God.
Exactly.
You know, you just put a name to it. So I was just like, that's what it is for me, and whatever it is for everyone else, that's fine. I just got comfortable with calling it, like, for me, it was God.
That's belief. That's like when me and Stormy, with our signature picture, we put our hands in the air. Like I told you on the roof, you know, when you put your hands in the air, you do not see the air. You don't see it, but you feel it. And that's the true being that, you know, it's someone. You know, God is the creator of the heavens and the earth. We wasn't here when the heavens and the earth was made, but we know that there's heavens and earth here. We know that it take a little seed that we planted and we nourish it to grow a tree. You know, we know that we can't see the air, but we could feel it. You know, so everything around us is us. This world is for us. It never was nothing scripted when you came. You came here, you got a birth certificate. That's it. Everything here is yours. You know, you are God.
Think about think about this. I was sitting in Cabo, and I was working with these pastors in California. Pastor Mark Francis from Oceans Church, amazing man. Pastor Dr. Matt Hubbard, who was a big-time entrepreneur, investor, and also pastor for Waken Church. And I was, again, this was our first time kind of coming back into the church world, into the non-denominational church world, which I like the music a lot better. It's way better. Mormon and singing is very boring. And like non-denominational church is like super fun. I love it. So I'm sitting on these conversations like, you need to be fearful of God. And I'm like, no, go fuck yourself. I'm not playing this game of fear. I was raised in fear.
That's right.
I'm not going back.
That's right.
I refuse to have relationships. No, just be with it. So I'm sitting in Cabo. She's asleep, of course, because I wake up at 2:30 in the morning, and she's sleeping still till like 9. And that's fine. But I'm sitting there by myself on the deck, and I'm trying on this conversation using tools in our Warrior app, which is stacking, which is this dialogue that I open up with God every morning in our software. And I look up into the heavens, I look up into the sky, and the stars are clear, and the moon's out, and the ocean, and it's just beautiful, and this amazing resort. I'm sitting there, and for whatever reason, the magnitude of creation like rested on me. And I started weeping.
You felt the energy.
The energy of creation. Not like the little shit I've created. The idea that there is a being. OG, we can go eat Taco Bell and our bodies know what to do with it.
Yeah.
We can go drink too much and our bodies know what to do with it.
Right.
Our heart's beating. You get shot, your arm is gone, and yet your arm still functions and you feel shit. Like, this is fucking crazy.
Right.
So we get so myopic in our world of, I created this funnel. Look at my ad campaign. I wrote a book. The being we're talking about, whatever name you give it, created this whole thing.
Wow, right.
It's crazy. And when I started like really taking that on, I was like, okay, well, what if I can talk to this creator? Because it would seem to me that if he created me and he created you and he created all of this, if that happened, then there's really only one mentor who knows my path.
Wow.
You two coming together, if we play the back trails of the last 40 some years for both of you, quite a journey to get to this place.
Correct.
Play our trails, quite a journey. Is your journey right? Ours wrong? Ours right? You're wrong? Hell no. It's perfect. You two coming together the way you did, it's how we did. We didn't physically hook up. We didn't nothing. We just talked for 2 straight months.
Oh, wow.
Nothing. Just like that's why you said 2 months. We didn't. We had a relationship. We would drive around in the car and just talk to each other.
He wouldn't kiss me because he liked me. I kept trying to kiss him. I'm like, why isn't this guy kissing me? He's like, I really liked you. So I wanted to like wait and get to know you.
Yeah. He was serious.
Yeah.
I was like, wait,
He
the
wanted to rent
same.
you like a rent-a-car.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to rent a car.
Yeah.
I was like, it was the same feelings you had about Stormy. That's why I listened to your guys' story. I was like, okay, I get it.
It's come to a point in your life when you know where you got to that point. It's a point in your life where you know that you've got to that point to where you like, all right, this is it. This is it. And I think people know what they need and what they want. They say once you have everything you want, you have everything you need. Once you have everything you want, it's everything that you need. And I think people know what they need and they know what they want. And I think when it got to this point to when I got with her, it was like, this is it. This is it. You know what I'm saying? Why go through channels of wasting time? Why go through channels of wasting time out of your life? You're not getting younger, you're getting older. You know, so the time that you're wasting in your life, you could take effort toward that time being beautiful things in your life. You could take that time of creating. When I first met her, I gave her a pack of M&Ms. It was like, yeah, we was on, but I give her the M&Ms, and I told her why I like M&Ms. And she was like, yeah, I like M&Ms because it reminds me of something. It reminds me of, it's something that you get every day. Every day you get a moment and a memory. Right now, this is the moment. When we leave out of this house, it's going to be a memory. Now, that memory could last forever if it's a great memory, you know, or it could be a bad memory that could scar you, you know, but that's what you get every day, a moment in a memory. So that's what I like M&Ms for. Give me that thing, you know. But like I was saying, it comes to a point in your life when you just like, fuck it. I'm not doing it. I'm not cheating. I'm not called, man. I'm not doing none of that because I'm all in. If I feel like I'm to the point, if I feel I do this woman wrong, any wrong, which I don't want to do, don't even think that. If I feel like I do this woman any wrong, I feel like all hell's gonna break loose on me. Like I have a fear of doing her wrong, you know, because in life you could have been and did so much, and you know what comes behind that. You know the consequences what comes behind that, and I'm not willing to face them consequences with her. Not because she's a bad woman, because she's not the woman that comes and go.
I don't deserve that.
Nah.
Thank you.
No.
How does it feel for you to hear that? Hey, Matt, will you shut those blinds? So the light's not on them. We'll just cut this piece out. Just from the, just pulling both shut.
Oh, behind you there's a little white cord.
Oh, there you go.
This show's crashing. This show's crushing.
Sometimes you get tired of the bullshit, and don't you know? I think they have men that long for that.
Every man longs
They
for it.
longs for that. It's like, man, when I'm gonna meet the right person. That's why I say this is it. You know, when I'm gonna meet the right person, because even though you're out here, you're doing so much, you still in the core of your heart, you still want that person. Your person is your person, because like I told him, I'm like, you could do so much through the day. You only have 24 hours in a day. I mean, the party, the lights, the strip, everything you want to do, restaurants, everything. One thing that you have to do is go home. You have to go home. You have to go to sleep. You have to do that, you know? So that's going to be the moment where you're going to know if you're happy or not. Because the bed tell it all. Sometimes we go home alone, you know what I'm saying? And we be lonely. As men, but we could get in the street, we could do all that with the guys and all that, but really inside, you don't want that. You don't want that. It comes a time in your life when a man wants his own. He get tired of playing games. He just want to live. And I'm at that point in my life right now. That's what I just want to do. I just want to live, create great memories, you know, say longevity in life, you know, get old, you know, die old age, you know, and you know, just have grandkids, have what you want in life, you know what I'm saying, to be happy with the person.
Don't you think you're supposed to, like, I think you're supposed to have a partner in this life.
You do.
Like, I really do.
God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. I told him that. We had a raw conversation back
Yeah, we
then.
should have podcasted that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were ripping back there.
Yeah.
Well, here's so I'm going to point something out to you, OG, that goes off the conversation nobody got to hear. You remember when I was talking about range?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, you live in range right now. So we take the social media range, this range. You know you're called.
Yeah.
You're called. That's why you're in my house.
Exactly.
That's why she brought you here.
I thank you for that. I
That's
appreciate
why
it.
she's sitting, holding such divine space right now. Because it's what you're searching for. Because you're a voice for God.
Thank you.
And the range, the life, the pain, the darkness, the hurt, the suffering, the loneliness, and now getting to experience the shift in you. You both, this is the craziest shit when you watch two souls play the game and go, they flip the script on how life has been going at the right time. But she has been holding the space for you to do the thing
You're called
she
to
already
do.
knows you're called to do. I know it too.
And what I love about Stormy the most, she not gonna babysit. She not gonna do that shit. She's not gonna babysit at all. She's the type of woman, she's not gonna talk to you twice. She's gonna observe you, and if it's something that she's helping you with, if you don't pay attention to what she's helping you with, she's not about to just keep doing the same thing over and over. She's gonna let you get it on your own.
So I want to say this. Because
But she gonna always be supportive.
Because sometimes I think OG's used to being like that man in every room that has to speak. And he reminds me of, you know, I did ayahuasca, and one of the things that Mother Aya taught me is how everybody wants me to talk. But even you said today how silence is powerful. I don't think he really felt what you just said in the spirit in which you said it in, because he's always so ready to have a response. Do you understand what he's saying? Like, he really is saying how powerful you are and how we are here connected for such a time as this, and how big things are about to happen, how you were chosen to be here. And I know that. And when I first saw you too, I was like, man, I admire what they have. And I want me and OG to see it together, because I became a part of who I am today from observing. I observe myself, and I see myself in third party. Like, I'm watching Stormy right now, be Stormy, right? I'm observing me, like how I'm sitting. Are you paying attention to him? You know, don't cut him off, Stormy. Make sure you're present in this moment, not so busy talking about, you know, what happened in the past or thinking about the past, or even focus on the future. Can you hold a space in this present moment? And so I just want to say, like, I saw this, and I feel like OG, and I told him this when we went on a cruise like last year. And I said, I don't think you really understand how powerful you are and how big you are going to be. It's not about money, but his story, to have gotten shot 23 times, got hit by a train, was in a coma for 2 weeks. His mom never knew his mom. Mom died before he was even a month old, when he was born. His dad died when he was young. He had to find a space for himself. And he's so used to holding a big space in every room. And I think he deserves
His own.
He has his own, right? But he deserves another type of relationship, like with you. I feel like there's an aspect of him that you can help pull out. He's 51. He'll be 52 on March 22nd.
22nd.
He'll be 52 on March 22nd.
Get it.
But I think there's a part of his life that he has not discovered yet.
I've
Past the
watched it.
music industry, past the Kevin Gates, all the celebrity rappers he knows, the awards show. I'm not talking about that. There's a space that I think him seeing you is going to help him to realize that he can step into. And I believe that you're going to help support that for him. So I just want to tell you, I heard it, but you just said it. I don't think you did. I want to say thank you for saying that, observing that, and acknowledging it. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I want to be more of a servant of people now, because I'm not into the things that I used to be into no more. Like I told him, I walked this man in the back, and I told him my story. And this is a great man. This is a powerful man, because, you know, knowledge is king. Money is not king. You know, big cars and houses, that's not king. A man with knowledge is king. And I love the way he talk. I love the way he expresses himself. He has got my attention. You know, so my word was to him privately, you know, man to man, like what I can do to serve you as a person. You know, not the money, none of that. Just let me be a servant of who you are.
That's good.
Because some of the greatest leaders were the greatest followers. And for me to follow someone like him and be servant to him, I'll love that.
I love that too.
Well, and
Definitely.
I'm telling you, from this place, I got to sit and watch. It was deeply rewarding to sit and get to hear you share.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing right now, this is why I'm pointing it out again. This is the range I was talking about. She has figured it out. Hers was the opposite. She was always quiet. And then she started speaking. The wild part about being around Stormy now is I've seen videos from her from the past. She carries the whole range now, and has come to find, like I have, there is as much power, if not more, in silence and listening and observing and communicating with the soul to people than there is using words.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, you're finding it. You're finding it right now. That's why I pointed out, because you're demonstrating what I was talking about in the room. This is the range. And there's a piece that will shift there where you start to actually crave the presence of being in a listening position with people.
You get
as
a lot
much,
out of
if
it.
not more, than talking. That's why I spoke for 30 minutes yesterday. That's it. That was enough. I found that I now need less and less time. Give me 20 minutes. That's all I need. I don't need 5 hours. Just give me 20 minutes. We'll be fine. Then the rest of the time, I'm going to sit. And I'm going to watch people and listen to what I feel from them.
Yes.
And as a musician and a speaker and being in this place as a speaker, I didn't get this for a long time. So I would enter a room, and my first approach was to talk.
Exactly. Me too.
And now
Yes.
I enter the room, and I get other people to talk.
Yes.
Well, the power is getting him
Wow.
to talk.
Yeah.
And it's actually so rewarding. Like for me, I'm sitting, you listen to you tell your story, and all I'm doing is asking more questions because I'm deeply empathetically curious about the walk of a soul. I'm like, okay, how did we get here? Tell me about this. Tell me about your arm. Why did you put your arm in your shirt? Let me feel. Okay, let me feel it. Okay, tell me more about that. Okay, well, what about that? Okay, so wait, you were in middle school there. So how did this happen? So all I'm doing is piecing together the soul's path. I'm like, how did this amazing man get to this place? Because behind every amazing man and every amazing woman, all three of you, me, every human, there is a story of darkness and light, and darkness and light, of pain and power, and up and down, until you get to this place where you find the range. I got the keyboard. It's like you can play all the dark notes and get to hear your music. I can hear you smash it, like go off, and then right now you're communicating with me right now. Just sitting, being. Your energy's coming to me. I'm pulling it from you. You're giving, this is what you found. This is what I found. She found the opposite. She started speaking because she used to sit constantly in rooms for hours and say nothing.
I've always been an observer.
Wow.
But she had
gift.
to learn how to speak. So where your natural one is to speak, mine is to speak, yours is to speak, we learned to
Listen. Be quiet.
She learned
silence.
to talk.
Wow.
The opposite.
So dude, you're not only ready.
We're gonna just push right off the cliff.
It's
Let's
like
go.
it's amazing though, because there's like no greater joy. Stormy, agree with this. Like when you see your partner start to open their range,
Oh yes.
and you know it at a soul level that it's
Yeah, that's
there.
why I was like the opposite with me. Like when I started getting on stages and speaking, he was like, "There you are," you know. So there's this piece of us that's like she sees it in you. He's like we see each other for who we can become, and it's our jobs, our responsibility as partners to extract each other's greatness.
Exactly.
So
That's good.
So what
My,
you're saying?
my biggest thing is family, and like I told you, the reason why my biggest thing is family because I didn't have things, and it's not to just try to tell a sad story to make people feel a certain type of way about me, but I didn't have certain things as a child that was supposed to have. Like, why am I getting a cake, and this is my 10th birthday? Why I didn't have a cake for my 5th birthday or my 6th birthday? Why? When my birthday, they passed them up. Oh, why my grandmother giving me toys for Christmas? Well, I'm supposed to get toys for Christmas? Because I never got them for the last other Christmases. And, you know, my daddy come through, give me money. Pew, gone. Daddy come through, give me money. Pew, gone. So the only thing I looked at my dad is just, that's somebody going to give me money. You know, so Stormy gave me a whole different demographic of everything. She gave me what I wanted. She gave me family. Stormy Goldfish know me. The cats know me. Her greatest assistant know me. Her children know me. All of her children know me. I don't think there's nobody in her family that don't know me. And they don't know me because I'm just this loud guy like, hey, what's up? What's your name? They know me because of her. They know me because of her, and it's to the point to where, you know, that's my family. I got what I wanted, you know what I'm saying? And it's a good feeling, you know? And it's when you get a woman that could just not only give you the things in life that the normal relationships have, like, you know, we going out to eat at night, let's go watch a movie, let's go do this, that's normal. You know, when a woman could give you something that you could cherish for the rest of your life, me and her could fall out today right now and break up. You know what I'm saying? One thing that she gave me, and I'ma always know, and it's a fact, man. This a fact. I'ma always know that she gave me family.
Oh, thank
Always
you.
know
That's
that.
good.
You know, and that's the biggest thing ever. You ever been around people like when you feel utterly rejected? Like, even though you know you're there, you just feel utterly rejected. They talking, but they're not talking to you. They're not talking about you. They're just talking. You're not involved in their conversation. And then you'll go to thinking, man, that ain't my family. Oh, they not family. Her family is nothing like that. Dad open the door. What's up, Alvin? When I'm not there, they're looking for me. You know what I'm saying? And that's the greatest thing ever in life you could have when you didn't have that coming up.
Think about this. How many men, how many black men, just specifically like we were talking before, have experienced growing up like you?
Many.
Do you
Many.
think it's possible? I was not with my son for 10 years. I abandoned my son for 10 years. I can't take this back. It's what I did. She fought for my son.
Everything comes with reason, though.
Yes.
So you can't give yourself that
Right.
kind of back. You can't do that to yourself because
Yeah,
there's a reason.
I have
for
no
everything.
bad feelings about it. Here's why.
Right.
My son is 25, and there is a generation of young men who had no fathers. My son lived his whole life until he was 17, and not until he was 22 did he call me dad.
Wow.
And now at 25, we're like thick as thieves. But my son now has the wisdom of the pain, which is why young teenage boys and early 20-something boys can talk to him and he gets them.
Yeah.
So the path that you've walked is the soul map of the gift to the world.
It's your responsibility to share it.
That's why I don't feel guilt and shame of I worked through a lot of that with him to be able to get to this place.
Yeah.
But like the paths that we walk, everything that we did in darkness or light to get to this place guided us to our calling.
Yes.
I experienced that we chose all of the pain in the path and the process so that we could, when we were ready, stand and bear witness of the power of God through us, in that we went through all these things. And yet here you are. Here you are. And now here you are ready
Right.
to speak it. And I've watched her go through it. I watched her own her truth as a woman. It's why we were sitting in the car last week, and she was tore up inside about her calling. She's like, I love being a mother. I love my babies, but I can't turn this thing off in me that I'm called to serve the world.
Right. Right.
And so she's sitting in tears on date night, sobbing in the
Right.
car over this.
Wow.
We're all going through this. The only difference is you keep going.
Yes.
You keep going.
Right.
You keep going. I keep going.
Yes.
While everybody else quits.
Wow.
So are you ready?
Yeah, definitely.
Pressure is a privilege, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah.
I feel like the podcast has been like amazing.
Yes. Thank you.
It's fun to have you guys like in our home and like not like
Fun being
regardless
here.
the cameras are here or not, just like having these conversations and connecting. And it doesn't matter what our path has been, we're all here in this moment, you know? So it's cool to like just get to know you guys more. I'm sure this relationship's gonna like keep going.
Yes.
Stormy's like, we're gonna be friends. I'm like, we already are friends. What are you talking
That's
about?
right. That's
so
right.
you know, and thank you guys for just being here, being so open
Yeah.
about like your relationship and life and everything, and keep doing what you're doing.
Yes.
Because although you may have had like past traumas, it seems like you guys are in a really good, healthy space right now, and you
Yes.
understand the importance of the connection inside of a relationship.
Yes.
So thank you for being on the podcast. And
Stormy,
this guy
anything you
always-
want to share as we wrap up? Anything on your heart?
I'm just in gratitude. I'm in gratitude because I believe I align with this moment. You know, I've admired you all for a while, and I was sharing with Vanessa to have met Dan Fleshman 6 years ago. We stayed in contact. I was able to tell him today, thank you for seeing me past network marketing, whatever. He sees me so much that he wants other people to see me. And when someone like a Dan Fleshman, someone like a Danielle and a Garrett sees me, it lets me know that I'm on the right path. So I just want to say in gratitude on behalf of both of us, the mere fact that you all are who you all are, like, it is an honor to be in your home. It's an honor to see that you see me, to even know who I am, to care to know who I am, to care to know who we are. I will never take it for granted. And I just want to say that the way you all live your life out loud on social media, it's inspired me. I watch how y'all watch each other. I watch how y'all look at each other. I watch how y'all work with each other. Watching your fruit, your daughter, Belly. Like I said, I know your mom and dad probably think, why does Stormy want to hang out with our little daughter? She's like, to me, she's like my sister. Like I can hang out with Belly any day of the week, and it's just a testament to the type of parents she has. And so thank you for even trusting me with her. Thank you for trusting us in your home. And I'm just grateful. And I feel like we're going to do something in the future because I know that there's a space that we hold as Black, a Black couple. And I said this yesterday, I don't know if y'all heard me, but I come in these type of environments and I look around and I'm like, I need to do something to bring more women and men of color in these environments.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
the man in the arena,
Yes.
I told OG, like, we should be able to go. I'm going to be hiding somewhere with Danielle, but I want to look in the audience and know that it's 100 Black men in the room that wouldn't have been in the room if it wasn't for you bringing the Black men to the room. So I just want to tell you, I feel responsible, but I'm also grateful to have met you all, to have connected, and to be seen by you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
OG, you have anything to say?
Yes, I
Sharper?
want to definitely say some. I am a warrior because I've come through the darkest times of my life, and I stood up. I stood up through everything. You know what I'm saying? I've been through a lot of tests of times where I could have been broke down and I could have been gave up, but I kept that endurance and I kept faith. Now I'm to the point in my life to where I'm on the right path and I'm blessed. So like I was telling you, you heard me. You got to let some things go to receive the blessings that God have for you. And I'm receiving blessings every day, and I'm thankful, and I'm appreciative of being around people like you, your wife, your family, your dog. I mean, when a man home is his castle, and when you step foot over a man's doorstep, I come from a generation where you come across a man's doorstep, you have to really know that man. You have to know that king for you to even be in this castle, And I just want to tell you, like, man, I appreciate you even inviting me here, having me on the podcast, having me around your family. It's a big thing to me, And like I said, I believe in family, so I look at y'all as family,
Yeah, we feel the same way.
Yeah, I can't wait till we pull up on the side.
Ooh, I can't wait. I got plans.
I know. We were like, why didn't they just show up in the yacht? I was even thinking about that.
Just keep
yesterday.
going.
We should have told them to pull up at the yacht.
No, we're going to do that again. We're going to go on our date.
Yeah.
Go to studio, shoot a video. It's
Done.
gonna be fun.
We're doing a
Let's do
Man
it.
in the Arena music video. You and me together.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I
I'm
love
ready,
it. We
man.
will
I'm
crush it.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna make it happen. And
Yes.
guess what? I think with proper planning, everything's gonna be the way that we want it to be.
Yeah.
Amen.
Definitely.
As soon as you started playing that music, I literally just
I know,
saw it.
I was
I
already
already
in
was
it.
like, saw it. I was
I
Well,
was
like,
y'all
like,
got a
oh,
documentary to watch too. After y'all come from, because I told him, I'm like, man, come on, man, you can't watch this documentary. It's 2 hours. Your phone gonna be ringing. You got business you gotta handle. I don't look at a man like you kicked up in the house looking at the. I don't look at that. I look at you always on the move.
Yeah.
So whatever you watch out of the
We're going to slow it
documentary, I
down. We'll
appreciate
watch it this weekend. Because we watch documentaries. We don't.
Usually on like a Sunday night.
It's like we'll lay in bed and just like, hey, let's
But
watch
for
something.
a fact though, because Stormy's in a documentary. For a fact though, y'all watch 10 minutes of it, you're gonna be hooked.
I was hooked in the
You're gonna
first
wanna
2
watch
minutes
the
we
rest.
watched together.
It's
I'm
good.
ready. Well, I was like, tell me a story. You're like, I was like, oh, you got it. That's better than my story. It's like
Exactly, it's
already
good.
documented. Well, beautiful. We love you two are beautiful people.
Thank
we
you.
love having your home, especially with our kids.
Thank you.
Especially with Bailey. That's why we've been just pushing her. Hey, play, because like you have the amazing mentorship with her, and also just guidance. We love having you here in our home, and this has been a great episode. This is what I love about this show, because every single show has a different theme. And as you've been listening today, here's what I want to tell you. Some of our shows are completely funny. Some of our shows we're screwing off. Some of the shows Danielle and I are at war and she leaves the show and then she comes back. Some of our shows, our guests are talking about these things and other things and sex and whatever the topic was. But today I want you to know that there was something to feel today. Anytime that you hear a group of people, powerful people get together and you watch an energy, it's not of quietness, it's a soberness. It's an energy where God is present. So as you listen to this and you felt those things, I want you to understand those things don't come from us, they come through us, and they come through you also. And your marriage and your relationship can have this if you'll pursue it. And as Danielle's always told you every week, the only way that we get other people to get this message is by you sharing the show. So share the show up today, share it with people that you know, and use the show as a place to have conversation, because you found today the conversation of God as a couple with OG and Stormy is going to be new, and the conversation was new for us until about 2.5 years ago.
Wow.
So if that's enough to give you encouragement to go there, we appreciate you deeply. Also, for any tools that we have here at Wake Up Warrior that can support you, you know, to wakeupwarrior.com, you'll find some of our new books that are out, curriculum and guidance to help men. Also helps women. One of the ways we're helping women is helping men get stronger. So check it out, wakeupwarrior.com. We got free trials over there. You can check some things out. And for that, this is a wrap. This has been another amazing episode, God present in this one, here at the Date Your Wife Podcast.